Dropsite News has exposed an organization called Eagle's Wings, a Christian Zionist organization, for being funded by the Israeli government. And there is a lot here, some very shocking details. But first, Cenk, what are your 2 cents here?
Oh, the Israelis are bribing some people in this country to control America into giving them hundreds of billions of dollars and starting trillions of dollars worth of wars, all on behalf of Israel. I am so surprised. Well, let's give you the facts and the receipts about how they've been lying to Christians systematically for decades here, trying to trick them into taking their money to serve Israel. Go ahead.
Well, here's what you need to know. Eagle's Wings descended upon the Capitol this week to throw big galas and lobby our elected officials. On Monday, they threw a bash for Israel Advocacy Day. The goal of Israel Advocacy Day, according to the organizers themselves, is to shape US policy towards the Middle East. This year's agenda will focus on reinforcing US support for Israel's security, addressing the sharp rise of anti-Semitism, and advancing protections for faith-based institutions facing increased threats. Now, this is a PSYOP backed by the state of Israel. Eagle's Wings was secretly paid a total of $700,000 by the Israeli Ministry of Foreign Affairs, $245,000 of which was allocated for its lobbying efforts this year, according to a previously unreported Israeli procurement document. The Israeli Ministry of Foreign Affairs notes in the contract that it is funding Eagle's Wings in order to prevent churchgoers and priests from adopting pro-BDS and anti-Israel positions. Eagle's Wings revenue was about $6 million in 2024, the most recent year available. If its revenue in 2025 is similar, the Israeli government will account for over 10% of its funding last year. According to the contract, Eagle's Wings is very important to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. The organization is going after both our elected officials and the Christian Zionist community. The lobbying campaign plans to hold more than 100 meetings across Capitol Hill this week. We would welcome the opportunity to meet with you to discuss the US-Israel relationship, reads a meeting invite sent to a Democratic congressional staffer obtained by Dropsite. The Israeli Ministry of Foreign Affairs notes in the contract that it is funding Eagle's Wings in order to prevent churchgoers and priests from adopting those positions we just mentioned. Crucially, Eagle's Wings is not registered as a foreign agent. And we'll end by diving into Robert Stearns, the founder of Eagle's Wings. Stearns, who founded the organization in 1994, has said he is willing to die for Israel because he sees it as a crucial ally in a war against Islamic extremists. A week after the US-Israeli bombing campaign against Iran began, Stearns authored an article in the Jerusalem Post asking Christians to stand with Israel and visit the country. Here's a video of Stearns calling the American people dumbed down for turning against Israel. This was recorded almost immediately after the first strikes of the Iran war.
Iran has slaughtered its citizens over the past weeks, slaughtering its citizens in cold blood. No uproar, no demonstrations, no Hollywood celebrities, changing their acceptance speeches. And now the voice is coming out against this strike. I don't understand. Is it ignorance? Is it willful ignorance? Is it brainwashing? It is the dumbed down American public that simply does not take time to learn, to study, to understand, that just wants to react against this because, oh my God, it's Trump, so it must be bad.
Cenk, who really is dumbed down here and why?
Yeah, so they think we're dumb, but he's saying that because he's always thought that. Because he thought, well, we could just bribe their pastors and then pretend that Christianity should only care about protecting the foreign government of Israel. And they must have thought in the beginning, come on, really? Can we really get Americans to believe that? That all, like the only Christianity, don't worry about Jesus, don't worry about feeding the poor, taking care of the needy, that's not important at all. The only thing he cared about was making sure that Israel was not boycotted or sanctioned. This current foreign government of Israel, Jesus cared about sanctions against them. Well, they're like, yeah, but if we bribe all their pastors and we have them all lie to as many Christians as possible, the Israelis and Israeli supporters like the one you just saw think, well, Americans are dumb. We'll just trick them. And unfortunately, a lot of Christian Zionists were tricked into believing that they shouldn't care about Christianity nearly as much as they should care about Israel. And that if they cared about Christianity, if they cared about God, they would spend their whole lives defending Israel against economic sanctions? Come on, man. So Israel's literally bribing our government, 94% of Congress. Israel's literally bribing Christian pastors and leaders. And they're literally buying our media, CNN, CBS, TikTok, etc. So what is this? And I'll tell you what it is. It's a foreign government, and I would argue a foreign enemy who has infiltrated our country in order to rob us. And they have. They've taken $320 billion in direct payments, and if it's not a robbery and it actually helps the people giving it, great, then Israel give us the money back and it'll help you. Oh, I see the robbery only goes one way though, right? Right? Well, Israel, why don't you give the money back? Nope. Well, if it's so helpful for us to give it to you, why don't you give it back? It'll be helpful to you. No, shut up, Americans. You're dumb, and your job is to get lied to and serve Israel. That's Christianity. That's Christianity, to serve a different religion and a different government. Okay, and now they want to rub it in our face. Not good enough. Now we're going to call you dumb on top, and if you catch us with our hand in the cookie jar and you see exactly how much we bribed your officials, you see how we told you to attack 7 countries, and you dumbasses spent $8 trillion attacking the 7 countries Israel demanded that you attack. Well, of course we're going to bribe everybody in America, and we're going to control the media enough so that you never find out. Well, too late, guys, we found out. So yes, you control, in my opinion, you control mainstream media nearly 100%. And guys, for a billionth time, not Jewish people, Israel attacks Jewish people in this country all the time. The #1 target of propaganda in this country from Israel are actually Jewish Americans. And 63% of Jewish Americans are against the current Israeli government. It isn't about religion, it's about a foreign government that has infiltrated every part of this country in order to rob us blind and make sure we fight all their wars for them so they can expand their imperial empire in the Middle East. Jordan.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of unlearning that I've seen some, traditional Christian Zionists, whether they realize they were in that camp or not. I've seen them kind of realize, oh, wait a minute, none of this stuff is good. Like it can only take so much footage from Gaza before they start to question what they have been taught. And this relationship between the Israel lobby and the Christian movement in the US goes back a long time. And you'll even hear American Jews reject this framing by Christian Zionists, like, oh, they're God's chosen people. It's like, whoa, we don't claim that. That's something you all think. And we're seeing now more and more people waking up, which is why they're doubling down. They're investing more money into this because they realize they're losing their foothold into that segment of America. But I think a lot of these people just didn't realize they're good people who just thought, okay, yeah, this is what we got to do. This is what we're being taught in our church. And they realize, hey, their pastors have been lying to them. Their pastors have been pushing propaganda in their churches. And then they see this footage out of Gaza and they're instructed, no, you have to support this government. A lot of these people are good people who just want to live a good life in the way that they see fit. They can't stomach this footage. They can't stomach what they're seeing coming out of Gaza. And that's why I think this group is so petrified. And that's why they're saying, oh, no, they're dumbing down. No. If anything, they're getting smarter. They're realizing how much they've been lied to. And I think it's a good thing.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more with you. I don't think they're dumb. I think they're good-hearted people. And a lot of us got tricked. I got tricked by mainstream media when I was younger. We're all the victims of this overwhelming propaganda from this foreign government. And so we've all been lied to in 100 different ways. I was told in school that Israel was attacked in 1948 and 1967. That's not true. Israel attacked first. They slaughtered the Palestinians and ethnically cleansed them in 48, and they attacked all their neighbors and destroyed all their air forces in 67. And then they pretended it was self-defense, and our media lied to us and told us it was self-defense. They even put it in our textbooks bought by Robert Maxwell. One of the legendary Mossad spies was allowed to buy our textbooks and put in garbage propaganda. If you believed what your textbooks told you or what the news anchors told you, you're not dumb. They're evil for tricking you. So look, let's liberate ourselves. Easy ways to do it on all fronts. Vote against all the incumbents. 94% of incumbents are dirty, corrupt, and work for Israel, Big Pharma, and anyone else that'll pay them. Vote all the bums out in media. Turn off your television. And I say smash it to pieces, but now there's online media on your TV sets too. So leave your TV sets alone. But you didn't be. I mean, if you turn on cable news, you are willingly getting brainwashed. Why would you do that? They're not doing real news. They're doing news to skew it in a way to affect you and to brainwash you into supporting a foreign government. So turn that trash off. So why would you jump in a dumpster fire? And then look, everyone in their own religions, okay, and in their background. So I was originally Muslim, I'm atheist now. But when I see a Muslim guy on television, which there's plenty of them, they go, oh yeah, Bill Maher, you're so right, all the Muslims are violent savages. Oh, Israel should kill them. Well, I question that mother effer. I question him very, very deeply because I think he's a sellout. He's a phony, and he got paid by Israel to tell Americans about how terrible Muslims are. And oh yeah, I'm a Muslim, sure, yeah, my people suck. Yeah, BS, you Uncle Muhammad or whatever the hell you are, okay? And if you're a Christian, of course you should question your pastor. Ask them, did you ever get paid by Israel? Did you ever take a free trip to Israel? Have you ever gotten anything from Israel? They'll probably lie because that's their whole job, is to lie to you on behalf of Israel. But if you keep on going and you ask around, you'll find out that almost all of them have taken free trips to Israel. Almost all of them are getting paid in some way or another by Israel. That's why they're betraying you, and they're betraying the religion of Christianity. And Jewish Americans who are overwhelmingly in this country opposed to the Netanyahu government, you should definitely question your own leaders. Wait, are you representing Americans? Are you representing Jewish Americans? Or are you representing Israel? Because there's a big difference. There's a huge difference. Are you gonna represent Jewish people? Because that is really important and you should do that. Or are you gonna betray the majority of Jewish Americans and represent the Netanyahu government instead? And why are our leaders doing that? Why are the leaders of almost every religion doing that? Why are everyone in television doing it? Why is everybody in the government doing it? Because Israel has brilliantly, systematically purchased almost all of American leadership. And it's a brilliant investment because for every dollar they spend there, they get $1,000 back. And you know who they get it from? Me and you. This is a well-organized robbery of the American people. Question your leaders. Most of them are not on your side. Every time you ring the bell below, an angel gets his wings. Totally not true, but it does keep you updated on our live shows.